Will we find out today who the next president of the United States will be? NBC's political director, moderator of Meet the Press, Chuck Todd, is here with us. We were able to wake him up in his sleeping bag under the set this morning. You've been going nonstop as well. Do we call this today?
Look, we have a high, this is one of the, it's a strange situation that we're in. We have a higher confidence that Joe Biden is going to get to 270 electoral votes than which combination of states gets him to the 270 electoral votes. So, look, obviously, if we're waiting on some additional vote out of Allegheny County and Pittsburgh and Pennsylvania. The vote by mail numbers that came out of there yesterday, they've been at a larger clip for Biden than our models had anticipated. So if we see that same thing as Allegheny continues to report this morning, we could start to get into some thresholds that make us a lot more comfortable in characterizing Pennsylvania, because it could push Joe Biden's lead outside of the automatic recount margin, so that even if the provisionals put it back in there, we'll still get to a situation where it's even in a recount, it's unlikely that the lead would change. So what would that mean? Well, it's pretty simple. One state does it, puts them at 273. It wouldn't matter, even though we know we're going to get some new vote out of Maricopa today. The president has to win at about a 60 to 61% clip of remaining ballots yet. It's not totally out of the question, which is why we have continued not to be able to get to a 99.5% certainty rate. And then, of course, we are going to get some more vote out of Clark County, Las Vegas, some vote by mail there if it continues. And that's where Joe Biden's lead has continued to grow. It's basically doubled yesterday as we got some stuff. It could grow even more, and that could put us in a situation where it is a lot. So Nevada and Pennsylvania, I'm more bullish on us being able, and I say yesterday I would have said Nevada and Arizona. But again, the Allegheny numbers came into a point that I think, look, we feel like we're going to be able to get some more certainty in Nevada, at least in our models, in Pennsylvania. Maybe Arizona, but we're less certain there.
And just, Chuck, just to help people understand, for the folks who thought we would have a president-elect at this point, what is the reason that it is taking this long? Is it primarily the provisional ballot?
Well, no. I mean, part of it is number one. It's just simply let's just take Pennsylvania as an example. When the Republican legislature decided to not allow the state to process these absentee ballots the way the state of Florida does, the way the state of North Carolina does, so that you could have a vote, you could process those ballots before Election Day and essentially have the vote count together. Combine that with the president's decision to basically dump on the idea of mail-in voting. So he encourages his supporters to almost do all Election Day. And Joe Biden's supporters end up doing a lot more vote by mail. So it really does wreak havoc on models, okay? Everybody's sitting here, are you being hesitant because of Donald Trump? No. It's that we have not ever had an election like this where you've had, our models are designed based on assuming that the vote is going to come in on sort of an equal basis. But we had all of this Election Day vote. Then you have all of the vote by mail vote. Right. So it just wreaks a little bit of havoc. So it's, for anybody that ever messes in this world of modeling, if you're taking your data and not combining it, sort of one-siding it, you could get this. So look, we're close. We're getting there. But this is because of the unusual situation that the state of Pennsylvania in particular was put in, mostly by the Republican legislature and the president's browbeating of mail-in voting.
And to conclude, the thing I'm struck by is in Florida, they've counted 97% of the vote. Only 97%. In Arizona, 96%. But everyone's saying, what are they doing in Arizona? The truth is, it's only because we're scrutinizing it. This is the way the process plays out.
Any state right now, any other state under this scrutiny, you'd be complaining the same way.
Exactly right. Chuck, thank you.